Former NATO Supreme Allied Commander and retired General Wesley Clark joins me to discuss. General, thank you so much for making the time for us. We appreciate it. You know, whenever I hear a strike from the Houthis, I keep on thinking of Gulliver being pestered by these Lilliputians. Why aren't we taking these people out, and why aren't the Israelis doing it, or why aren't we doing it in conjunction with them as they continue to sort of flex their muscles now hitting land-based targets in Israel?
I agree with the frustration. First of all, it's a very tough piece of ground. You know, the Egyptians actually fought there in the 1960s and never had much success in North Yemen. It's mountainous, it's tough, it's bigger than it looks on the map. But the real problem is that we didn't give our military the mission to do that. As far as I can tell, what we did to the military is say, go out there and if they try to attack ships, you can protect the ships. And if you come back to Washington, we might approve a strike or two against them on ground.
Yeah.
Should have done a mission type order to the United States Navy Command, 5th Fleet out there and said, I want you to take down this threat. You tell us what it takes, what are the costs, what are the risks, come back to us, and then we'll make the decision. Yeah. Instead, we're micromanaging at the political level. And as long as I've been associated with national security, this is the most persistent failure of any White House. Yeah. It cost us in Vietnam under the Johnson and Kennedy administration. A lot of Harvard intellectuals thought they knew exactly how to handle the North Vietnamese, do an airstrike here, do an airstrike there, show them, give them a pinprick, and hope they'll get the message. They never got the message. And, you know, there's only two ways to handle this kind of a conflict. Mm-hmm. You either have escalation dominance, in which you persuade your adversary that he's going to lose big if he doesn't quit now, or you go in with overwhelming or decisive force and physically eliminate the threat.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah, I think a lot of Americans agree with you. They were not given the proper mission. I want to move on to what President Trump was talking about yesterday, announcing to some degree a version of President Reagan's Star Wars program to create an Iron Dome over the United States. Is this technically feasible, and is this something that is strategically prudent for us to do right now?
We're going to have to do something to improve our strategic defense posture in the United States. You may remember a few months ago, there was this brouhaha about maybe there's a Russian nuclear weapon in orbit and maybe it'll take out a bunch of satellites. Well, actually, at the unclassified level, if a Russian nuclear weapon goes off in orbit, it'd probably destroy the U.S. electricity grid, probably cause 50 to 100% casualties in large parts of the United States because you can't replace the electricity grid. It could be done by a missile, it could be done by cyber, it could be done by nuclear electromagnetic pulse. But the point is, we've been taking our strategic security for granted for the last 30 some odd years. North Korea, China. Imagine going into Taiwan, say, we're going to protect Taiwan. Yeah, sure. And China says, don't forget, I got a bunch of nukes aimed at, and China would say, I got about 600 million people I don't need.
That's right. And they'll sacrifice them. They will sacrifice them in an instant if it is in they feel like it's in their strategic interest. General Wesley Clark, sir, we always appreciate you spending some time with us. Thank you so much. You have a great weekend.
Thank you, Thomas.